King of the Pit Media. Bing. Let's not gas about the little flick of my hair, bro. Shaved my hair, right? And now it's starting to grow back. And it's getting into a stage where I'm just having the most persistent flicks in the barnet, you know? Went and got myself a chipped butty. Enjoyed my chipped butty, and I thought I'd come on, have a chat with you, yeah? Metallica. I gotta talk to you about what could be the best Metallica record. And you're thinking, flipping hell, we're still talking about Metallica. Yeah, we are. Because I'm about to put you on game, and what I see is certified. Pardon me. That's my chips and bread cake right there. What I'm about to put you on is the game. Yeah? Is this the best Metallica album of all time? Is this Metallica's best moment? And you're thinking to yourself, what's he going to talk about? What record's he going to talk about? What do you think? What do you think the answer is? I bet the majority of you won't guess. I'm going to reveal it to you. We're going to talk about this today, people. We're going to talk about this today, yeah? You ready? Let's not mess about. Bing! Ride the lightning, yeah? Let's get excited. Let's have a round of applause. Let's gas on what could be one of thrash metal's finest moments, in my personal opinion. Brutality, power, youthful energy, atmosphere. Let's talk about this record, yeah? When I was younger, I kind of thought, my experience with Metallica is I went to And Justice for All, and then ding, Stonewall. I did not go beyond there. To this day, I've still not actually listened to anything past there. I think when it might have come into my audio files for free for some strange reason back in the day, I did have what is it, Death Magnetic. There was a couple of numbers on there. There was a couple of numbers on Death Magnetic, but you know, they're old heads at this point. We don't want to hear the old people. I hate listening to old people do music. Well, that was a slip. Let's just call it old people doing music. It's all relative. To me, you youngster might be thinking, I don't want to hear his fucking shit either. But what I'm saying is, I don't want to hear these old dudes who've been in a band for decades upon decades continue writing thrash metal music. Oh, no. No. Do something new. Do something else. So, it didn't possess the essence of that which resides within this record. I think this record possesses a soul, possesses a spirit that transcends the professionalism in Master of Puppets and the subordinacy, the mundanity, arguably, of Kill 'Em All. The transition from Kill 'Em All to Ride the Lightning is beyond words. The production suits it to a T, even to a degree where I'm listening to the remaster and I'm still thinking, whoa, the remaster's done this justice. The remaster has done this justice. Blazing fast guitar, verging on a degree of rhythmic technicality that went under my radar when I was initially listening to the record. Some of the stop and start stuttery buttery timings of the riffage, it's just so smooth and fluid that you don't pick up on it until you really pay attention. You're just like, whoa, there is a degree of just like odd timing here, which I hate, by the way. I hate. Give me 4 to the floor. Give me something I can follow. I don't want to hear no prog rock. So, brilliant guitar work. The drumming is what it is. The vocal line is pristine, fantastic. A great, arguably, would you say Hetfield's best vocals? In my opinion, the dynamic and the elevation of the snarl and the grit of the growl we can achieve and keep it melodic is fantastic. Really good, really good. We're not just shouting in this monotonic consistency, gets boring, and we're not singing in this heavy metal-esque old school style. We've got this youthful, bordering on punk edge. I mean, it's a bold statement, but there's an element of rasp that verges on edge, verges on temperamental and wanting to stir a bit of disturbance as opposed to it just being perfect for perfect's sake. With that being said, the first 5 tracks, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Tracks 6, 7 and 8, we can cut that off of the record. But as far as track 1 to 5, we're on Michael Jackson Thriller tier degrees of magnificence. Let's talk about it, yeah? Fight Fire with Fire. Is it an underrated Metallica track? More than likely. You metalheads should adore Fight Fire with Fire. Pristine, the tremolo picking, the clarity and the jingle of the finger plucked guitar as the intro gives you a false sense of security prior to the introduction of the distorted guitar, because when that distorted guitar comes on, it brings in the essence of this record that I absolutely adore, and that is the production that leads to the atmosphere. And I will be influenced by the artwork of this record as far as atmosphere is concerned. I will be subconsciously sort of applying the music and audio experience to what limited imagery I have, which is the front cover, right? The representative of the record, the image. And I think that which we see on the cover, not necessarily the image in a literal sense, but the foggy blues, the foggy dark blues, this solemn, melancholic, thunderous landscape really personifies the sound that we hear on this record. I love it. I think it's great. Ride the Lightning, All My Days. I like hardcore. I like hardcore more than I like metal. And when metal meets hardcore, i.e. when metal has a pulse and a danceable rhythm, which is why I like thrash, you know, it's punk rock adjacent in its own manner as far as the roots are concerned. It's the best of both worlds, as long as the musicians are metalheads, because then they can perform crossover better than the punks can perform crossover, if you know what I'm coming from. I'd rather listen to this than DRI. So, absolutely phenomenal through the perspective of somebody who would rather be at a hardcore show than a metal event. Chug central, ignorant, primitive, knuckle-dragging riffing with a fantastic emphasis on groove and heaviness. For Whom the Bell Tolls, same situation. Ridiculous. So heavy, and we could talk about Metallica just like it's a gateway band, or it's Metallica, it's like blah blah, but it's not like some of the other Roots acts that are just boring and we just have to show appreciation to them because they were there at the start. The majority of acts from the 80s are fucking boring. It's the equivalent to dad rock, but this record and this sound has retained a modernized youthful essence. Like, if an act came nowadays and did a 2-song demo and put Ride the Lightning on, people would be blown away. You'd don't get me wrong, it's political, but given you had a circuit that supported you and you came out with a track at the very least like that, it would kick off. Amazing. Fade to Black, you know, when I was younger, probably a bit more into it, but I need a bit more energy nowadays. The guitar solo, albeit I don't like guitar solos, the guitar solo saves it. Very tasteful, great phrasing, great way to outro the record, great climax to that tune. Trapped Under Ice, another underrated tune. Thrash, Push Party, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. And when I was younger, one of my favourite bands was a band called Trapped Under Ice, and supposedly they didn't get their name from that track, which I find unbelievable. I saw an interview back in the day. Supposedly that was the case. My apologies. I got salt and vinegar in the throat. From there we got Escape, Creeping Death. All right, mid. If you wanted to perfect this record, get rid of Escape and Creeping Death, put Battery there, and put flipping a modernized Whiplash there, and that would be it. 7 tracks, beautiful. The Call of Cthulhu, trash. I don't want to hear no instrumentals. I know it's a Metallica thing. Boring. Get to the riffs, get to the thrash, get to the push party. I'm not here to listen to 8 minutes of you playing bog standard riffs when your better riffs are in the flipping vocalized material. It shouldn't be that. If you've got an instrumental, there should be emphasis on the quality of the musicianship and the craft to really showcase that. Call of Cthulhu, nah. So that's all I got to say. That was my rant and rave on this record. Ride the lightning. Leave your comments down below. If you disagree with what I've said, disagree. It's all subjective, don't you forget that, people. But this might arguably be the best Metallica record, and because I said so, it might be solidified in stone, alright? I'll leave that there. Peace.